Welcome back to Cartoon Universe. My name's Deepcut, your YouTube, and this is another episode of what we are now calling Hidden Meanings. After Lars and the Cool Kids, we have a large set of mostly self-contained episodes leading up to Coach Steven. Nothing in between these two episodes really lacks value, however, the point of this show is to dissect the more mature themes found in Steven Universe, and Coach Steven is one of the best examples of that in Season 1. The episode opens with a quick cut to the premise. A strange gem tower left behind from before the rebellion seems to be interfering with human technology. Upon arrival, it's suggested that only fusion will be strong enough to destroy it, and Garnet quickly suggests that Amethyst fuse with her. Pearl is already really distressed at the idea of these two fusing together, and as soon as it happens, we can see why. Sugilite is extremely powerful, and she knows it. She has a very toxic personality, but despite this, seems very determined to stay together. This seems to be out of her own desire to exist, more so than Amethyst and Garnet's desire to be fused. The show has a very diverse interpretation of what fusion means to the characters and how it works. This generally boils down to whatever they actually need it to be in the episode itself. In this case, they set the stage for some very serious exploration of character by adding a sexual element to it. Garnet and Amethyst dance rather provocatively for a children's show, and Pearl shields Steven's eyes, much like a mother might do to a child watching a couple get too frisky in public, but more on that later. Sugilite makes quick work of the tower, and Steven is very impressed, but in her haste, Sugilite accidentally injures Steven and doesn't seem to care. Pearl quickly warps Steven home, and the warp pad is destroyed shortly after. Steven is very impressed by Sugilite's strength and decides that he wants to get fit to be strong like Sugilite. He encourages Sadie, Lars, and his father to join him in this pursuit. Pearl, on the other hand, seems entirely unimpressed. She finds such power to be completely dangerous, at least in the hands of a personality like Sugilite. She and Steven have an argument over what being strong in the real way seems to actually mean, and what ensues is one of the greatest musical numbers in the entire show, in my opinion. The song seems to be an exploration of the two different definitions of strength, one being the very literal physical strength, the kind that involves muscles and punching, that Sugilite has and Steven is fascinated with, the other being the vaguely defined inner strength that Pearl wants to instill in Steven. But what exactly does that mean? Sugilite returns to the beach, but she is angrier and more out of control than ever. She and Pearl end up going from exchanging words to exchanging blows, and unfortunately, Pearl is not strong enough to take Sugilite. Pearl is only one gem in the face of three gems that are fused together. She's about to give up on this battle when suddenly...
I'm not strong enough to do anything. Come on, Pearl! Don't give up! I know you can take her down! You've got to show what you showed me! That you're strong, Pearl! Strong in a real way!
Pearl's plan is enough to defeat Sugilite, but the story was never about having a plan. A lot of children's cartoons put an emphasis on brains over bronze, but Steven Universe does no such thing. Instead, they try to leave us with the idea that physical strength does not dictate whether or not you survive in any given situation in life. The world is filled with people who cannot handle the hurdles life throws at them, let alone their own personality flaws. The struggles of life do not care how much you can lift, or how hard you can punch, or what you can destroy. The only thing that matters is if you can survive them. In the end, it is only those of us who are strong enough to face our problems and deal with their consequences who get to survive in this world. Pearl cannot outpower Sugilite, but with her own inner strength and a little bit of Steven's, she can keep facing her problems until the solution presents itself. Much of the show's progression is based around whether or not Steven will improve where his mother has failed, and a big question that has to be asked is whether or not Steven will be strong enough to face not just his own problems, but those left over by his mother. Pearl wants to instill Steven with that inner strength, and the power to face everything life has to throw at you, and to keep moving. It's something Pearl believes Steven will not instinctually have. After all, not everyone in Pearl's life had the strength to deal with the problems they created. Thanks for watching.